Yo, yo, yo. What's going on YouTube? Little fella, aka One Eye Open, checking in, man. It's been a minute, Man, a lot of stuff happened since my last video, man. Seriously have. But I'm going to start by answering some of the questions that have been asked recently. What's going on, Southside? What's happening, man? I'm over here chilling right now at the truck stop. Just took a 10-hour break. About to get ready to roll out. Check my new headset, man. I like this thing. These Blue Parrot 450 Bluetooth, man. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Sounds good. I use it for music, and they got a media player button on it. You can change the songs on the headset, and they got an aux cord output, so you can use it without using the Bluetooth. And I also like it because I got a PlayStation, and you can actually use this with your PlayStation 4. So, a couple things I just want to notate. Oh yeah, I see. He said I had no door. But man, a lot of stuff happened, man. Since the last video, some things have happened. Right now, I know you can't tell, but I'm not in my truck. And the reason being, I'm going to expand on these in other videos more. But my truck is currently sitting at the yard. And the reason being for that is because I had a mission light come on. And I took it to Freightliner to get it checked out to see what it was. And Freightliner called me back and told me that I will need a new one box. And for those that don't know what a one box is, it's that big hunk of whatever metal on the passenger side that has your all your sensors, your DPF filters, your SCR, and it runs with your ECM, and it pretty much tells the truck to regen and, you know, works with the engine. That's what I was told, and I just don't understand why I would need one. My truck isn't that old, and I've never had my DPF filters baked or replaced either. So it's kind of questionable whether or not I really need one or not. But if I don't take Freightliner's advice, I'll be running the risk of just like getting the DPF filters baked and running it like that. But the reason why I'm not driving it, I can drive it, but then I risk damaging the engine if the regen part of it isn't working properly, and I don't want to damage my engine. So right now we're trying to figure out the options. My bad, internet connection failure. Runs about $8,000, and I'm not trying to fork that out. I'm really not. If I had to, I will, but I'm not trying to. So I seen a couple comments. One guy said to do the DPF delete. That actually was one of them. It might still be the guy that I work with. His guy was doing it for his trucks, and he tried to contact him. Was trying to. I keep getting a crash app thing. It's messing me up. And he doesn't do it no more. So I don't know if he's still gonna go with that option or not. But he's gonna do some calling around and see if he can get some prices on either some used one boxes or see if he can get a lower price for the new one or whatever. So right now the truck is sitting. I'm gonna say that much. But I ended up taking off for about a week or two, trying to actually go for the new one box. And my dumb self, I ended up breaking my ankle out playing around in the country of Mississippi. I'm gonna say the country of Mississippi because I was out in the sticks or the woods. We had like a bonfire out there, riding four-wheelers, shooting guns and stuff like that. You know, some real mountain boy stuff, you know, if you will. So I actually been down for the past several weeks. I had to do surgery, all kind of stuff, and I'll expand on that in a different video as well. And I'm actually doing therapy right now, so I'm kind of on light duty. So right now I'm not even doing flatbed. I'm actually pulling the van trailer until I feel like I'm comfortable enough to get back and pull a flatbed again. So I'm not getting my on-ride pay, which is killing me right now because the truck payments never stop. But anyways, I, within that several week period, received a phone call from my old dispatcher. Now, if y'all do work at DART right now as we speak, that might be familiar with her. I'm not going to, put her name out here and all that stuff, but it is a female dispatcher that I was with, and she's real cool. I mean, she was giving me the good gravy run loads. I mean, and it was just cool like that, and I was making good money with DART, and that's how I was saving a lot of fuel. Yeah, I have a DD15. He said they got a special for one box for $3,200. You might have to slide me some info on that one so I can run up on it and get more info about that. If you just leave a comment, I mean, they're kind of just rolling right now, so I ain't gonna be able to really check it, but just leave it there and I can check it later. She called me and had this genuine conversation, how things going at DART and all that stuff, and she was like, "Well, I'm calling you because we're trying to get drivers back." I said, "You trying to get drivers back?" And she's like, "Yeah." I said, "Y'all want me back?" And she like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I still got my truck, right?" She like, "Yeah, bring you in your dang red truck." Bring that big red motherfucker over here. That's what she said. She at work. I was crying. And I was like, well, damn, y'all the ones let me go over a warning that didn't even happen. Y'all kind of just hit me to the curve. Now, granted, luckily, when I first went to DART and I did their lease purchase program, and I had a 15 Cascadia that was naked, had nothing in it, and I was paying $21.98 a month on just the truck alone. I already had in my mind, if you watch my recent videos, that I wasn't going to keep it that long and save my money, get my own truck, just in case that happened. Because if the same scenario were to happen and I was in their lease purchase truck, and let's say I had it for 4 years and I had maybe 13 months to pay it off, and I got the same warning, they would have let me go, and they would have kept the truck, and I would have been one red motherfucker, and I'm black. You would have saw a black person turn red for the first time in y'all lives. I kid you not. If that would have happened, and I was aware of this, and that's why I didn't want to keep. That's why I don't really want to do no lease purchase programs with new trucks, used trucks, whatever, because anything can happen. An accident, a warning ticket, whatever. You know what I'm saying? If you injure yourself, like imagine if you injure yourself for several weeks where you can't work, and you have a lease purchase truck that's hitting you every week, $400 a week, $500 a week, $600 a week, whatever. How are you going to pay that? What's going to cover you? What's really going to cover you? Because you're not driving the truck and you can't put nobody in the truck because it's technically not yours. So these are the things to really consider, to think about if you want to do lease purchase. Your health got to be good. Your money it ain't all about just saving money and making profits. You got to also take care of yourself, because anything can happen. I had no idea I was going to break an ankle. I ain't never broke an ankle in my life. And guess what happened? That's what happened. And luckily I have my own truck to where I ain't got to worry about losing my truck or whatever the case is. And, I can get back to work and not have to drive it, and I can still make money. I'm just very fortunate that that's a scenario case. Because it definitely can go left and south, and a lot of people out here that does lease purchase, or even get their own truck, fails for several reasons. And I can tell you right now, your health not being good, aside from your money not being good, is definitely bigger than not having your money right, your health ain't right, and you're not taking care of yourself. So there's just a lot of things to consider before doing that. So back to the conversation, she was saying like, yeah, come back. She said, we done changed our pay and stuff. I said, the run's still the same? She's like, yeah, are you still living in the same area? I said, no, I moved closer. I'm in a more populated area. So she's like, oh, that's good. We got a lot of runs in that area. I said, okay, I know. I know that, you know. Um, but she told me to pay. She like, what was you making last time you was at Dart? And I tell y'all, I think the base pay was $1.02 a mile, and then the fuel surcharge at that particular time was 16 cents. So I was getting $1.18, and then of course, you know, if you're working for Dart, if you do loads over 42,000 pounds, they pay you an extra 5 cents a mile on that load, and then if it's hazmat, they also pay an extra 5 cents on that load. That could have changed too. I don't know, but I'm just going off the last time I was there. But now she's telling me that the base pay right now, as of 2019 in the new year, is $1.30 before fuel surcharge, and I don't know what the fuel surcharge is. It could be 10 cent, it could be 20 cent, so it could be looking pretty decent. And that's for lease purchase and owner operators. I'm not sure what the company cent per mile is starting out there. It could be the same. They could have bumped it up a nickel. I have no idea. But truth be told, it was sounding pretty good to me because I actually been doing percentage for the last year, and yes, I've been making a lot of money like that. But the difference is for the cent per mile, the way Dart was. I'm only going to talk about Dart. I ain't going to talk about the other companies I've been with. Is you know, they have light loads. You know, with me doing flatbed, I'm typically always hauling heavy loads, steel, lumber. You know, unless I get machine parts or something like that, that's light. Um, I'm always heavy, so I'm not saving fuel. I probably average about 6 to 6.5 miles per gallon running flatbed, and that's going about 70 miles an hour because I'm typically heavy. And I do have an APU, so the fact that I don't have to idle at night actually helps as well. So running with Dart, my field average mile was about 7. It was about 7 because I was going 75. I mean, most of my loads, I try to have it less than 35,000 pounds, but they do have a few loads that's over 40,000, if not 45,000, up to the heaviest that I've hauled, 48,000 pounds with one of their larger accounts. And that same large account, the heaviest I seen, but I turned down, was 49,800 pounds. 49,800 pounds. But it was only going 100 miles. There was no scales to cross. But with it being my truck, I would have took all the risk with the weight and so on and so forth, and I wasn't willing to do that. And it was like a holiday run, last minute, you know, New Year's run. So I talked to her. I said, well, you know, I'll keep you in mind. You know, she gave me her number to call her back. I said, it's not a definite yes at all. You know, it's more of a backup plan, because if I do get back to flatbed and it's challenging to me, or, you know, my ankle ain't really feeling up to it, because you do have to do a lot of physical climbing, tarping, so on and so forth. Yeah, I could take my time with it, or I can, you know, find ways to do it. But if that were not to work out and I could not pull flatbed, I would have to consider van or reefer or something. So that would just kind of be in the back pocket, really, if I happen to go that route, to keep the money flowing in. Another advantage with working with Dart, or even with a large company, is the fuel discount prices. And that was something that really made a huge difference with pay. You know, running flatbed, making percentage, you know, I'm only getting like a 20-cent fuel discount at the pump, whereas with Dart I was getting up to 50-cent fuel discount prices. So yeah, I'm getting paid cent per mile, whether it's $1.20 or whatever, but I'm spending 30 up to 30, you know, cent of the average fuel discount at the pump. So that's why I'm getting some of my money back right there. And then if I get light loads, I get a little bit of money back with the fuel mileage, because I can get better fuel mileage on those typical runs. Aside from you being able to choose where you can go, you know, Dart gives you options of what loads is available. Sometimes it's not too much, and sometimes, you know, they try to get rid of that crap load that nobody wants, because typically the The company drivers is the ones that get all the gravy runs, all the light loads, all the easy routes, because that's what's saving you the most money and making you the most money. And the loads that's left out there that nobody wants, the heavy ones, the ones that's out in the woods and the sticks and um, in crappy locations, or going to, crappy other locations. Those are the ones that kind of pass off to the LP guys or the owner operators if you let them. If you're willing to turn down a crap load that day and say, well, fuck it, I'm not going to do this crap load. I'm not pulling this 45,000 pound load. I don't want to go to that area, or for whatever reason, and you want to sit to the next day, you can do that and get a good run. But at the same time, you're losing a day of pay, and it's not guaranteed you're going to get a good run the next day, and you could actually sit the next day. If they really was telling you the truth, you wouldn't know until you sat the next day and no load still hasn't popped up, and you're calling them every hour or every other hour trying to get a load. They'll find you one, but you'd be lucky if it's a good one. So that's the kind of risk you take, playing a weight game like that. The big thing to always remember is to keep the truck moving. Keep it moving. Shouldn't care if it's heavy or light or whatever, because the chances are, if you're getting a crap low and it's taking you a place you don't want to be, there could be a really nice gravy run after that. And I've done that several times where, I be in like Dallas, they give me a crap run going to Louisiana, that's 300 miles, and you'll go down there where the case is, and while you're heading down there, they give you a gravy run going up to like Pennsylvania, that's 10,000 pounds. You'll never know that unless you take that run. Yeah, it would be nice if you could just deadhead 300 miles to get that run, but that's not how they work. That's not how it works. They gotta get rid of that crap run. They gotta take care of their customers, their contracts, their obligations. And if you're pulling for them, yeah, you worried about you and you taking care of yourself, but you got to be somewhat of a team player. But yeah, we were just conversating a little bit about that, and she just kind of gave me a few updates, who's there, where the case was, and drivers, and just a lot of bull stuff, jargon, or whatever the case is. And I just kept the number. Will I call her? I have no idea. But I know how Dart runs, operates. I know all the terminals, the ins and outs, the drop hook locations. I know I did like moving with Dart better, because a lot of the places, the drop a hook places where I can bobtail out and come back the next day or a couple days later if I want to take off, was surrounded by a lot of my family members. So I know I can, if I was going to a certain place, let's say St. Louis, I know I can drop it at up there in Pontoon Beach. For those who are familiar with Dart, dropping in Pontoon Beach, and I can bobtail out and go park wherever I want to park at, certain areas, and I can hang out for a day or 2 days or whatever. And then I know when I get a reload, I'm ready to get a reload, I can get some out of there and just get back to work, whereas with doing flatbed, I can ask to go to like St. Louis, but I would have to park at a truck stop and, do the same thing, and take off and come back and then reload. But it's not the same, because there's times where I actually like to bobtail and drop a trailer and drive around, especially in places I haven't been in a while. Like if I want to go out west, you want to go sightseeing and stuff like that, I won't have to Uber or get a rent-a-car to do that. I might just want to bobtail the truck to a place or to a hotel even. It's easier to get a hotel if you're out in areas like that. You go to California and get a hotel and park your truck at the hotel, and you can enjoy yourself for a day or two and not have to worry about the extra expense of getting a rent-a-car or, catching Ubers everywhere or relying on others. So that's really the difference. And quick note, there in Ontario, California, I remember going there a couple years back and parking at the Double Petrol or TA or something over there. And they actually have a rent-a-car service inside the damn truck stop. Like, they was trying to give me like a Dodge Charger to rent, but they was trying to charge like $100 a day. Ridiculous, $100 a day. So I was just simply inquiring. I wasn't going to go with it. I would just want to see if it was normal or if it was like over expensive, because I wanted to go over to Long Beach and ride around Compton and stuff like that in the daytime. No, I ain't scared, but I just want to see some stuff, try some different foods, and meet some people and stuff like that. So yeah, that's about it. But yeah, I got a lot of updates. with what's going on, so I keep y'all tuned with that. But my truck is doing just fine. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with it except that one box issue. And I really think, what up, Big Chuckles? What up, Milkman? What you say, Tyrone? I'll pull over for 40K. Yeah, that's tend to happen. With this van I've been pulling so far, this is my first load. This is probably my fourth load since I've been back out on light duty. And this is my first load I got that's over 40,000, but my other load's been 25, 10, 5, and 13,000 pounds. I did take a huge pay cut, of course. I'm probably getting 50% of what I was getting as an owner operator, but that's better than zero, especially I got responsibilities of the truck and to get money up for the truck and stuff like that to get taken care of. But I just wanted to do a short live video. I know I've been out there a while. I know I had a guy that commented on one of my videos earlier about getting a new truck, and I'm assuming he need a brand new one, like a 2019. If you going that route and you got it like that, go on get it. Go on get it, brother. I mean, it's nice to have a new truck, a warranty, 500,000 mile warranty or extended or whatever the case is, and not have to worry about maintenance for those first few years. But you're gonna be paying 25 to 3,000 a month on it. Even with the down payment, typically would be between 10 and 20,000, depending on your credit. But I think it's much better to get a used truck about 3 years old that's still in warranty. If you can find a truck that's under between like a little over 300,000 miles, but or 400,000 miles where it's still covered in warranty, or you still got the option to buy and extend the warranty, I'd rather go that route and pay half the down payment, whether it's $5,000 or whatever. I mean, I got mine with $3,000 down, for those who didn't know, on a $60,000 truck, and that was off my credit and credentials, of course. And then you got to make sure you got a carrier. They're going to ask you where you're going to do with your truck. You got your own authority. If not, what carrier you putting it on with. You got to have a carrier that will approve that, because they will contact the carrier to verify that that's what you're doing with your truck. So don't just sit there and say, oh yeah, I'm buying a truck and I'm going with Swift or whatever the case was, and they call Swift and say, no, we don't know who that is, and they'll tell you real fast, Swift say you ain't never contacted them, because that can look pretty bad on your part. So I definitely would get a used truck. But the thing is, would I buy another Cascadia? Probably not. The only reason I got a Cascadia was because a lot of people told me the maintenance on it is cheap. They got Freightliners and TAs everywhere. They're like fleet trucks, so they're easily to keep moving. But whatever the case is of that, my main gripe is the engine. I probably would never get another Detroit diesel engine ever again with these newer trucks. I'm probably gonna stick strong with Cummins. I actually had a Cummins in the Cascadia before, in the 2013, and I love that Cummins. Cummins was strong, it was great. I had very little issues with it, and I did get the DPF filters changed on that truck, and I haven't had an issue with it since. But definitely I'm gonna go with Cummins next, whether I get a Peterbilt 579 or a Western Star or whatever. I'm gonna make sure it's gonna be having Cummins in it. But that's all I'm gonna spend on right now. I appreciate y'all subscribing. I see my subscribers going up shortly but surely, even though I ain't pumping the videos out like I used to. I'm still out here. You had a 2005 Cummins. Well, I don't know. I don't know nothing about the old Cummins. The Cummins that I had was an ISX 15 that time, and I really liked it. It was really good. It had over 500 horses in it. It pulled great. It was strong. I liked it. I loved it. But I appreciate y'all being out there. Oh, it was ISX? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, everybody's experience is different. I mean, from one truck to the next, from where they stole to where they manufactured to who took care of it or how many drivers been into it, you never know what you're getting. That could have been a really good engine starting out, but you give it to a few crap drivers that don't know how to take care of shit or don't get the oil changes done on time, About time to get in your hands. It can have low miles on it, but nobody has really been taking care of it, and then boom, you stuck with a sticky situation. I'm fortunate the person whoever had my truck last before I bought it actually did take care of it. So I'm gonna take care of it, and it haven't gave me no problem since. Another small things is, damn, 3 coolers and 1 turbo. Woo. Yeah, they really take care of that motherfucker. What I was gonna say, but when my truck got hit last year, they did replace a lot of the stuff under the hood. That did help a lot. Like they replaced a lot of the AC components. The radiator, I ain't got to worry about the radiator because that's very expensive. A few grand to replace a radiator. And some other mechanical parts they did change. I have not had to change a turbo yet, but I'm still pulling about 33 psi on my turbo going uphill, so I'm still good in that department for now. But other than that, yeah, I end up also buying a lower bearing kit for my engine because I've been told that they have a defect in those Cascadias in that year range with the oil feeding tube breaking, the O-ring drying out, and of course it's changing the rod bearings and stuff like that, and the gaskets, and then resealing it. So I actually already bought the kit for it at a Detroit diesel location, and that ran me about $600 for the kit. I think it's well worth it. The labor to put it on is going to cost about $2,000. So I plan on doing that after I get this issue taken care of, and then after that I'll probably end up changing the fuel pump in my truck. Not saying it needs to be changed, but that's what I'm gonna be looking out for next. I heard that's a big issue too. Once those fuel pumps start going out, the shards and stuff like that, it'll go through the filters and get into your injectors, and it'll trash your injectors. Then you gotta change your injectors and flush your whole fuel system out and everything, and that can get costly. So things really just keep an eye on. But I appreciate y'all watching my videos, staying subscribed and stuff like that. I go through a lot. I don't know how other owner operators do it sometimes, man. They make it look like roses and rainbows and stuff half the time and buying trucks, and I'm glad they're doing good, and I got my hand up for them. I'm trying to be like y'all, man, and keep it moving, but I'm still out here. But I appreciate y'all watching the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll get back at your comments if I didn't verbally respond to them while you was posting them. Alright, y'all, I'm out.